Welcome to another Evil Mr. Joker production. Finally got my video and sound codecs all worked out, and we're good to go. I am going to cut out the long introduction so we can save on time, get right down to it. Today we are discussing this, item sorting, in particular the item sorter created by JL2579 and the ZipKrowd. As you can see, he was also kind enough to provide us this little 2 wide cross section, which if you look at it, the same as that, just repeated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times down each wing, 3 wings. This little section up top here is independent little stackable item sorters, but it's hooked up directly to their item farms. So items they get large quantities of go in here to this extra storage, and then if they get a lot of them too fast, then they get thrown in these little fire pits up there and burnt. A quick note, as you can see, JL2579 uses ender chests. I prefer to use cake as it doesn't put off any particle effects, and it's got the reduced hitbox size, which means any items coming through here with the current will force them to this wall and then force them into this cake, which has a smaller hitbox than, say, this piece of glass right here, which means the items can get just a little bit closer, and it increases the likelihood of them falling into the hoppers. So I just kind of went through and just changed them out like that, and we're good to go. So over here to our cross section, this guy here, I went through and took out the ender chest, the cake, whatever, just because more often than not on these sections you'll be using it as, you know, a straightforward waterway. Your turns and stuff is where you're gonna need those pieces of cake to adjust the flow of the items. So to break this down here, all of that is merely this stacked 1, 2, 3, and then reversed right here 4 times, and then same thing on this side. That's a total of 8 item sorters, starting at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for each 2 wide slice. So that's why it's so effective at item sorting, is it's very compact. And these guys here, we'll just get right down to it. What we have, it's a lot like Mumbo Jumbo's, except it doesn't repeat the same thing over again. His would break depending on the number of items that got pulled in, and the redstone signal would bleed into the other sections, and it would start pulling in items that didn't belong there. So each slice of this, left and right, are completely independent. The redstone signal won't bleed over in any way, shape, or form. So your items travel along the packed ice here and get sucked into the hoppers. In this one here, we have redstone dust, and then I'm just using bedrock as my filler. You can use anything. bedrock can be hard to get in survival, I'd suggest using dirt, and then just make your first sorter all dirt. So all of your top hoppers you should set up like this: 6, 5, 5, 5, and then one of the item you want to sort, and then the next hopper down below it, one item there as well. And so we got none in there, and as we see, that one's set up for all bedrock, so this would be like your all dirt one. And as you can see, it won't suck into the first one, but it will get sucked into that second one. And as you can see, the redstone repeater was on there. That's just showing you that it's working, and it depowers this torch, which depowers this block, which allows the items to flow through quite nicely. And we're back to 64. So that's the way that works. This only works on stackable items. The way comparators work is stackable items produce a signal strength based on the amount of the stack that's in there. Non-stackable items, one like flint and steel or one minecart, would produce the signal strength of 64 items, which would be enough power to go through here and suck it right out, and it would break your sorting system. So we'll talk about that in the next video. Right now we're just talking about stackable items, stackable item sorters, which this will work out perfect for you. I'll give you a little time, take a look here. The two bottom bases are the same redstone repeaters, no tick. Just drop them, feeding into the torches. Torches again power these two blocks, which in turn power these bottom hoppers. Since that's powered, it won't suck any more items out of there until we get boom, and the torch went back on. Still got our one. Still got our one. 6, 5, 5. Oh, I lost one down there. So, that's that side. And these are comparators, not repeaters. And packed ice, so it doesn't melt. This block here is needed to break this signal between the two. And so the other side simply looks like this. Comparator feeds this block, which powers this piston. When the piston goes down, this torch supplies power to that piston, which feeds up and through. And I can show you this if we just take out, and now we have two of the same sorters set up here, but I am just kind of doing this for simplicity's sake to show you here. Piston went back up. That means we're done sorting. Piston goes down, we are sorting. And we'll have 1, 6, 5, 5, 5, 1, and the rest in there. So that's how those work. Here is, that's that side, that's the other side. If you want to get just a quick snapshot of this, redstone torches. This block's not needed per se. However, like I said, that block is needed. That separates the 2 redstone wires. It's not needed. So, I mean, it's pretty simple. You just do diagonal, diagonal, one at the top, redstone repeater, torch, comparator, and this hopper, I like them to face into the comparator. They can face anyway, but don't make them face down, otherwise they'll just suck the items through, system won't work quite properly. So those guys, like I said, are just repeated all over 4 times total in these cross sections. And so what I've done is taken that 2 wide cross section and divided it up to just a single side. So this is the side without the redstone block, and that one is. So I'll give you some time to look at it. Feel free to pause the video, take screenshots. If you don't know how to take a screenshot of a video, I'd suggest getting a little program called Green Shot. That's GREENSHOOT, or SHOT, pardon me. Green shoot. Green Shot is what you're looking for. So, here we go. Same thing as the piston model over here is right here in this part, and so that feeds into that, which drops the piston, feeds it back up and in. And the next one up here, where are we at? Ah yes, here we are. This is not the piston one. This feeds in, down, which in turn feeds this guy and deactivates. And then same thing over here, feeds through this block, down, across, and allows. And then this is our backwards flip facing one, so the piston's facing inwards. And what we got here, instead of using like a torch, he just put the redstone here with a piece of wire. As soon as items drop into these hoppers, it makes the signal come through the comparator, drops the piston, which completes the circuit. Power goes through, which depowers this torch, which depowers this block, which depowers this hopper. So that's the way that works. Just a little note about the water running through here. These slabs, you don't need that top, well, it's actually a bottom of the block above it. All you need is the top half slab on this block, where your water comes to a trickle end at one side of it, and on the other side of it is where you drop your new stream of water, which doesn't allow the water to flow backwards, but allows the items to slip right on through off of your little stream right into your big stream. So that's the way those work. Again, trying to get as many good angles for you guys as you need. So, and then this half is simply this half in reverse. I mean, everything is pretty much the same. This is what I was saying about before too. You'll be using these for long stretches, so you want to use these walls like that instead of cake. And as you build them, you know, you can pretty much, well, you gotta alternate this slice, that slice, this slice, that slice. Otherwise you can just do, you know, some of these little independent sorters and set it out the way you want it. I mean down to the sorter. So that is that sorter. Hopefully you got everything. If not, send me a message on YouTube and I will do my best to get a better view for you. So here's the other slice. We'll start at the bottom actually. So that's the inside floor. And this, like I said, if you look along here, we're inside of the other half of this slice. And so this and that one together equal the double slice that I showed you at the beginning of this row. And that goes 6 times into each hall. So from here we just you can build your hallway any way you like it. These chests down here don't have a sorter hooked up to them, and those are just pretty much left to the unstackable items like lava buckets, milk buckets, armor, swords, stuff like that. In my next video we'll talk about those a little bit further, but we're getting up on time here, so let me finish this so you guys can do what you will with this. And in the next video I will talk about different types of item sorters and how those work out. So just trying to get to everything I can. Again, feel free to pause and take screenshots of what you need. It's only one wide, so I mean, you don't have to guess about anything. And then this side is just this side in mirror. Same with the other slice, no different. So, and again, just to recap, the items flow through on this packed ice with the water. If they come across the right hopper, then they get sucked in. As soon as there's one more item or two or whatever than should be, it sends the signal strength that goes through and down, which turns this block off, which turns this hopper on. And so the first thing this hopper does is start sucking out of there, and then it starts putting into here. And then it gets sucked out of there and put into here, and it's a potato. And then like here, this little box feeds that, but it's being fed by this, which is part of the next sorter above it. And those are bread. And gunpowder is fed from up here. And don't get confused by these hoppers, because I mean, this has nothing to do with this. You just gotta make sure to follow the hoppers. So that should just about cover it for a tutorial. Like I said, I'm not gonna build this from the ground up. I've built plenty of these little individual sorters, and they're really easy, really quick. You can go from there with it, otherwise you can go back, pause the video, and rebuild, you know, each of these slice by slice by slice, side by side, and you know, you build your first one and it'll end up looking like this, and then you'll have to do it again and again until you get an entire wing like this. Once you have that wing, Then you can build your other wing and then your final wing, and then all you gotta do is set up your water troughs to swish and swag and zig and zag in between each of them. And so, I mean, the way JL2579 does it, and I had to adjust this because I think it was set up for like 1.7, 1.6 or something. This used to run like that, not where it is right now, but it was having trouble sucking the items up. I don't know if they were just bad hoppers on the top or something glitched out, but I found by doing it like this, it picks up all the items just fine. And this is the initial feed after this special sorting area, and it goes down. Then you might want this because this is a clock. I wasn't supposed to destroy that block that went there. That's my bad. Yeah. So those blocks are needed because what this does is it detects if there's items in there, and then one by one it allows them to shoot out at the exact speed that a hopper can move items, so that way you don't get clogged up in your troughs. So that's what that little clock is. And from what I remember, JL2579 said make sure to cap it off with these half slabs, because sometimes light and people walking around and whatnot interacting with the clocks can cause them to glitch out and tweak out a little bit. So alright, I think that will do it for me for today. Hey buddy, how you doing? Yeah, you're a stuck duck. What the fuck? Just chilling. Want a buck? Peace.